All right, folks, we're back with Jurassic Park 7, Jurassic World 4, Rebirth, otherwise known as Jurassic World Rebirth. Alright, so Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards and starring Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali, along with a few other names, Rupert Friend and Jonathan Bailey. None of our characters from the previous 3 movies are returning here, so a fresh slate. Basically, all of the known dinosaurs are back to being eradicated to a few different tropical islands along the equator, and are no longer occupying any territories in any prominent cities or countries around the world. So the dinosaur problem is pretty much gone. There are still a few roaming around in America. There's a huge brontosaurus at the beginning of this film who has fallen over, and they're trying to remove the big dinosaur as he's blocking traffic, which I thought was kind of fun. But anyway, Dr. Henry Loomis, who is the character we're first introduced to, he has a plan to go visit one of these dinosaur islands, which is now highly illegal. But he recruits Scarlett Johansson, who plays a mercenary, and Jonathan Bailey, who plays a scientist/archaeologist. Their plan is to collect 3 different samples of blood from these dinosaurs, and then they can use those samples of blood to create some sort of cancer-saving medicine. So they all go to the Isla Nublar knockoff, and along the way, they meet up with a bunch of other mercenaries led by Mahershala Ali, but these guys have a boat. So now that all of our characters are on a boat together, headed towards Dinosaur Island, you can only imagine that things start to go wrong. The dinosaurs that they are approaching on this island are not just typical dinosaurs, they are mutant dinosaurs. Everything they think they know about these dinosaurs is wrong, and now these mutant dinosaurs are behaving in different ways that they did not expect, and of course creates a threat that eventually gets them stranded on this island. Okay, so as you guys know, there haven't been a lot of great Jurassic Park sequels, so my expectations were pretty low coming into this movie, although Gareth Edwards, who is the director of this film, did give me some mild levels of hope. He is a visual effects master. He has a great sense for how to create big, grand scale CG and worlds and put you into like this small perspective feeling like the world is huge. So I'm like, he's perfect for a Jurassic Park movie. And not only that, I think he's a passionate director who could bring a spark to this franchise. And I'll say right out of the gate, he did. He very much brought a spark to this movie. I actually had a lot of fun watching Jurassic World Rebirth. The first half of this movie really plays out a lot more like Jaws, where a lot of our characters are on a boat. They're getting closer and closer to this island, and we really spend a lot of time having these conversations between characters, getting to know everyone, and building tension. I think for the first half of this film, I don't know if you ever really see a dinosaur full on. They do a great job just showing little bits of dinosaurs, the spines coming up through the water, and really resetting the tension in this film to be like, dinosaurs are scary and they will kill you. Like, this movie definitely takes a horror approach, and you really do start to just feel this constant fear of what could happen, what could be around any corner. I really liked Scarlett Johansson in this movie. It took a minute for her character to grow on me. In fact, it kind of took a minute for a lot of the characters to grow on me. It felt like a lot of the jokes that they were trying to do weren't necessarily landing, so I was kind of concerned. But then the characters developed a charm and a really solid chemistry between each other, and you started to really feel for everyone in the movie. Mahershala Ali being a huge standout from the cast, and his backstory is really tragic and brings a heartwarming touch to all of his motivations in the movie. But yeah, so like I mentioned, this island is filled with mutant dinosaurs. It's like a pro and a con. Sometimes that added really cool elements of like, we don't know what we're encountering, but in other ways, I kind of just want to see classic cool dinosaurs like raptors and T-Rex. The mutant kind of formations of them, they started to veer on looking a little bit more alien, and then it started to feel a little bit like just a big creature movie, not like a dinosaur movie. But I will say, every single action scene in this movie, they all have high amounts of tension and unique and creative set pieces. Each sequence feels very different from each other. It's not really repetitive. The moments of action just feel unique and creative, and where can we put our characters that's going to be the scariest or most difficult or stressful for the audience to see them in as they're trying to get out of it. There's a really great scene with a T-Rex and a raft that kind of just brought me back to like waves of nostalgia from riding the ride at Universal Studios. You have this kind of like White River rafting and then a T-Rex. So I thought that was a really fun scene. I think the movie, for the most part, was walking a pretty good line between like having humor and horror. I do think, though, in the back half of the movie, some of the gimmicky or kind of corniness that the movie had, it almost started to take away from the fear of the dinosaurs, because they were setting up like a comedic joke or comedic moment, which to me just feels like it kind of weakens the movie. But I do understand that Jurassic Park has always appealed towards families, and so I am in support to some degree of having some of that lightheartedness, because it probably was needed to release the tension in the film. Because overall, the movie is pretty tense, it's pretty serious, and it's pretty scary. So I imagine if you're taking young kids, it's probably the scariest Jurassic Park movie out of any of the Jurassic Park movies. The Jurassic World movies, I feel like they never played the full Jurassic Park theme, that John Williams theme. And I believe it was like they didn't have the rights to it. They would play like a little bit of it, and then it would turn into another song. And I've only seen those movies once, so correct me if I'm totally wrong. But this movie had the full Jurassic Park theme song multiple times. I think sometimes that music comes in, and even if the scene is like subpar, suddenly I'm just locked in and I'm like, damn, this is the best movie I've ever seen, because that music is amazing. Like it's so good. So in the end, I felt like Jurassic World Rebirth, it was scary, it was intense, and I really enjoyed watching it. You know, I went with the kids, they really loved it. We had a great experience together as a family watching it. I don't know, maybe the music and the kids and the nostalgia, it's probably bumping my score up a little bit, but I'm going to give this 4 dinosaur fossils out of 5 fossils. I like Jurassic World Rebirth a lot. And I saw the last Jurassic World with the kids, and I did not like that movie. So I don't think it's just the nostalgia and the kids thing, all right? I think if you go in with an open mind and you're willing to just let yourself get sucked into the movie, I think it's the best Jurassic Park movie we've had in a long time, and has me looking forward to the future of Jurassic Park again. So, but let me know what you guys thought of Jurassic World Rebirth in the comments below. All right, we'll catch you guys in the next video.